Would you like to see something funny? Well, here you go.
Yes!
Hello. Today is going to be a little bit more of a discussion type video, mainly because, well, some really interesting stuff has been happening, especially on the PTB. So, with all the shiny releases that are going to be coming out for a couple of games relatively soon, for example, like Monster Hunter Wilds, which, let's be honest, it's going to take quite a bit of attention off of most games that anybody is playing at the moment right now. Well, the devs over at Alderon seem to have made a couple of changes that are sure to actually keep a little bit of attention, or at least try and claw it back. And these changes are on the PTB, so let's, have a look at a few of them. Feel free to read. Everyone's gonna have, their 2 cents on what they think is good or bad in terms of balance changes. Obviously, there's also the foliage update and stuff like that, and the engine updates that they're gonna be working on. But here's the one part that I'm actually gonna be... I just found it so funny to actually see, right? Well, the part that mainly interested me, as you would have all guessed, is the Rhamphyorhynchus change, and yeah, 5 times the effect of, Plague Carrier on Rhamph. What the hell? Now, actually try to imagine what that means. Imagine you've been running around the map a bunch on whatever dino you enjoy playing on, and you just haven't been able to find anyone. Because you know where they all are, right? They're all over in the crater, and then you go over to the crater, and it's, like a ton of apexes, or just tons of people there in general. Well, now, the one playable that 90% of the community writes off as useless because it can't do damage can now also control how many apexes there are on the map. Imagine that. Also, not only just control how many there will be, but also being able to pretty much control map traffic. Now, imagine you are a Tyrannotitan. Right now, 2 times, hunger drain from a Rhamph will turn that 60-minute starve timer into, 30 minutes. But with what's going to be coming out soon, that starve timer will turn from 60 minutes down to 12 minutes for a Tyrannotitan. Now imagine that. With that kind of power, you could actually control map traffic. Is there a large group in the crater with a bunch of apexes and stuff like that? Well, send a Rhamph in and just starve the apexes out. They'll have to move eventually. Now, as you all know, I love playing Rhamphyorhynchus. It's just so different to everything else in the game. And obviously, it's not useful in all situations. It has its pros and its cons. Some people don't like that it doesn't do damage, but I think it's very fair that it doesn't do damage, since it's next to unkillable, let's be honest. But what I'm really interested in seeing in this next update, if it remains, with the changes from the PTB, is how many ramps we actually see from people who wrote it off as useless before, because it couldn't do damage. Pretty much all just playing Rhamph due to the fact that it'll be able to actually control map traffic on its own. Example, if I see someone walk into Crater on a Tyrannotitan or Rex or Spino or Duck, and I see them in the Crater, and there's a ton of people in Crater anyway, well, I'm going to starve them out, and I have zero qualms about that. There's enough people here. There needs to be more map traffic. I want to push them to go visit other areas of the map. And honestly, this change that they're making to Rhamphyorhynchus, this is going to get changed. I have a feeling it will get changed. If it does make it to live servers, it will not be like this for long. I warn you. So get the most out of it that you can if it does make it to live servers with 5 times Hunger Drain on its Plague Carrier. Now, what the devs have done right here is all my speculation and how I see it right here. So they've taken the complaint that the map traffic on Gondwar sucks. It just sucks. There's no other way to say it. You can't find anyone outside of Crater and sometimes Grand Plains. Of course, there's the occasional group in Green Valley, but, you know, it is what it is. And what they've done is they've given this one playable the power to actually solve the problem of terrible map traffic. I don't know if they've seen it themselves, or, you know, what they've done or not, or how they could possibly see how it could do it in the first place. But this is how I see it myself. That, well, the players aren't going to actually, you know, move around the map themselves unless they have a reason to do so. The reason why they don't move around the map is because they can't find anyone. But now, if they are being threatened by starving by a Rhamphyorhynchus in the area, well, they're gonna have to move on, or get starved out. Now, I gotta say, you know, I don't know if the devs have seen what they've actually done right here. By, you know, pretty much turning this one playable into the tool to fix the problem that, you know, they get so many complaints about. But if this does end up making it through to live servers, as the way it is on the PTB right now, well, I think it could give them, I don't know, a little bit of insight to how they can fix those problems themselves without this tool anyway. But I keep calling it a tool. We shouldn't really call it a tool, but it just, how do I put it? It's put the power in the player's hands to fix a problem that they may see themselves. And personally, I love it. I love it. What can I say? Of course, I love playing Rhamphyorhynchus in the first place, so obviously I have a little bit of bias because I enjoy the playable. But even still, even if I didn't like that, it would still be accomplishing, or at least have the potential to accomplish the thing that I care about in terms of this game anyway. So I have something to ask all of you. Have you had a look in the Path of Titans Discord and in, you know, read the PTB notes or had a try of the PTB? Me personally, I can't try it out. But I would love to know your opinions on the changes that are possibly up and coming. And so here we are at the end. This was very much a, you know, just a way different style to what I'm usually doing, right? But, you know, it was something that really interested me. And also, it's a little bit of a discussion point. It also gave me a little bit of time to work on other things that, you know, also gotta be done as well. But there's not really much more I can add to that. As I said before, I'd love to know your opinions. So, let me know down in the comments. But, with all that out of the way, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Bye!